Welcome to this episode of Making Performance Matter, connecting employee performance to business results, with your host, Cindy Allen Stuckey.
Hello, welcome to my show. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to ask better questions. Now, have you ever been at work and you ask a question and you get one word back? It's either a yes or a no. And you end up thinking, I wanted more than that. I really wanted you to think. The next time this happens, I'm challenging you to step back and realize what just happened. If you got a yes or a no back, you ask a question that required only a yes or no. That's not going to get anybody to think. Something profound really happens with our brain when we sit down and we dialogue with people and we get past yes or no. And what really happens is we think, and that's what you want. I know all of you had a chance to hang out with your little ones, with your teens, and you know they question all the time, beginning when they're very tiny with, why is that leaf on the ground? Why is the leaf falling? What is that over there? All the way up to the other end with your teens, such things as, what do you mean I can't drive the car? Why do I have to be back at this time? But if you really listen to your teens, they are very good at asking questions and very focused, and they really get to the results that they're trying to find. We need to take a tip from that. So I'm going to give you 3 elements today that are necessary to ask really, really good, engaging questions. First tip is pretty easy. It's don't ask yes or no questions. Make sure that when you ask questions, you begin with what I call the 5 W's and the 1 H. So begin your questions with who, what, when, where, why, and how. Also, sometimes ask questions to really understand where that person is coming from. So ask something like, I hadn't thought of it that way. Tell me how you got there. Because again, you're engaging that other person, you're engaging their brain so that you can understand where they're coming from. And this happens by asking questions. The second thing that's necessary to ask good questions is to make sure you don't ask a question that leads you to a certain answer. For instance, that is very manipulative and also really dishonest, and people figure that out soon. An example of a question that I'm talking about here that you shouldn't ask is, you did what I told you, right? It's not a good question. And the third piece on asking good questions is, when someone starts talking, don't be like this 2-year-old that every second says, why, why, why. So just don't ask too many whys. There is a problem-solving process that's called the 5 whys, but this is not the appropriate place to use it. This is where you're having a dialogue. Questioning is how we get information, and it goes right along with what I talked about in an earlier show, which was listening. So what I want you to remember is, think about those questions you're asking, and if you get a yes or a no back as an answer, step back. Don't be upset at that person, but what you need to do is think about, I need to ask this differently. I want to thank you for attending today. Please feel free to go to my website at www.makingperformancematter.com, and I put some more information out there about asking questions. Thanks and goodbye.
Thank you for watching this episode of Making Performance Matter with Cindy Allen Stuckey. For more great information, visit Cindy's website at makingperformancematter.com. Also browse the other shows found right here at Indie Biz TV Shows.